Hey guys, this is Dan, and welcome to the beautiful world of flight simulation. This is what I do. I've been doing this for the past 4 years, on and off. We are currently on the descent to Madeira, in a wonderful, beautifully crafted Boeing 737-800 aircraft developed by PMDG, Precision Manuals. Thanks to them. This is simply beautiful. I love this. We are using Real Environment Extreme as well for the weather effects. Pretty much my game is heavily modded, very heavily modded. We are at 25,000 feet, which is also known as flight level 250, and pretty much this simulation is exactly the same as a real Boeing 737-800 aircraft. All the switches and buttons work, all the procedures are the same. I'm pretty sure they use this model of the Boeing 737-800 aircraft in most simulators in real life, where they train real pilots and where they recertify them and stuff like that. But let's go ahead and review our descent here. As you can see, this is the map. We are on the VOR NDB approach to runway 23 at Madeira. We are currently kind of doing a botched arrival here. We're trying to fly the let's check it out. We're trying to fly the VORD sorry, the Litter 4 Alpha arrival. But I think I'm gonna have to divert it a bit. Oops. I'm gonna have to fly direct to SNT, and then we'll hold at SNT as well. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's fly direct to SNT. Now our plane's gonna be turning, as you can see. That's the ocean, guys. We're gonna do a hold. We're gonna make a hold at SNT. We're supposed to be at 3,000 feet over there. We're currently at flight level 220, so we're really, really high. This is my first time doing this this approach into Madeira, so don't be too hard on me. Alright, let's go to the hold page. Go ahead and click on SNT. Let's execute that. There we go. We're gonna enter a hold at SNT. And we're also a little fast there, 300 knots. I'm gonna go ahead and disengage VNav. Actually, you know what? No, I'll let VNav control the plane for now. But, yeah. And, I have scenery for Madeira, and I had scenery for Madrid as well. It's been a 2-hour flight, more or less. The only problem with this game is that Microsoft is not that great at making games. Well, I mean, like, this game is really good with add-ons and stuff. Default, it's pretty bland. But, I mean, their games are really buggy. Like, this game, like, everybody fatal errors. I think I solved my fatal errors, knock on wood. But, you know, it's really frustrating when you're doing a 3-hour flight and then you suddenly fatal error, and then it was all that for nothing. And obviously the most exciting part of any flight is the descent and the landing. Alright. Here we are. So this is our pedestal, this is a throttle. If you guys want, if there are any flight simmers that are subbed to me, you know, I can go ahead and, oh, actually, you know what, here. Let's use our speed brakes to flight detent mode, so that we can help our plane slow down. But yeah, if there are any flight simulators that are subscribed to me, you can, you know, go ahead and request a tutorial video for the PMDG. I've been flying this bird for a long while. I'm in a virtual airline. I'm in, it's kind of like a clan, but it's for flight simulator. It's American Virtual, joinava.org. And I fly on VATSIM, which is an online network of controllers and pilots. I'm not going to be using ATC for the arrival into Madeira, just for demonstration purposes. We don't want that in the way. And I am also using a joystick. It's a pretty basic joystick. It's a Logitech. Nothing too fancy. Let's go ahead and zoom in. So we're still at flight level 210, and we're supposed to be at 3,000 feet. So let's go ahead and manually descend. We're going to disengage auto throttle. We're going to set it to retard mode. And don't even laugh at that. Retard mode means, see right here, this is the throttle, the engines. I'm moving them. Retard mode is when I set my engines to idle. So that means my engines are outputting 0%, well, not 0%, like a very low percentage of power. And I'm doing this to slow down my aircraft the best way possible, as fast as I can. So now we're descending. Let's go ahead and descend a little faster here. And this plane is equipped with a HUD. This is the HUD display right here. And we're going to use this for our VOR approach, even though there is no reported bad weather at Madeira today. I'm using real world weather, but you know, just for demonstration purposes, again, like I said, we're going to use the HUD to show the full capability of this bird. And all these switches, you know when a person who doesn't fly planes, they come into a cockpit and they go, "Oh my God, so many switches, so many buttons. How do you know? How can you possibly know what everything does?" Well, I don't know. After you fly this bird for about a year, there's my co-pilot. So my altimeters are supposed to be. Actually, basically what he meant was we're supposed to reset our barometer, our altimeter, to the local pressure. But the thing is that I'm pretty sure, like in North America, the transition altitude is 18,000 feet, but in Europe it's not. I think it's 10,000 feet, it might be 6,000 feet, but we're going to keep it at standard for now. At 10,000 feet, I'll go ahead and set it to local barometric pressure. So we're still in this hold here. I'll go ahead and post times at the bottom of the video when we're gonna exit the hold. (16,000 feet). And if we zoom in, that's the ocean. We can't really see because the window's pretty dirty. And we're as we're descending, our speed is going up, but I'm doing everything I can to lower my speed. I am applying speed brakes, and I'm retarding my throttle, so setting it to idle. There we go. We're turning back to Madeira. Or try to descend faster. It's easier to lose to burn off speed than to burn off altitude. And that's, I say that from personal experience. Trust me, as you're landing, you have to lower the flaps right here. This is our flap indicator. You have to lower the flaps. We're going to be using flaps 30 for landing. Not a brake 3 because I have a feeling it's a pretty short runway at Madeira. Never landed there before. But yeah, so the flaps should help us slow down quite a bit. At 10,000 feet, we'll go ahead and perform our approach checklist, though I'm not sure why the descent checklist was there. Here, actually, you know what? I think I forgot to do it. Let's go ahead and do it. There you go.
Checklist.
Actually, it's supposed to be 2-0 though. 2-0-0. Alright, that's our descent checklist. We'll be doing our approach checklist now, as soon as we reach 10,000 feet. But I'm going to go ahead and lower my vertical speed here. We're descending quite fast, and our speed is alarmingly high. Below 10,000 feet, we should be below 250 knots. So let's try to fix that. So this happens when you descend too late. And the reason I descended too late was because I decided to record this video for you guys. 10,000 feet. Landing lights should be going on. My co-pilot just turned on the landing lights. Set the seatbelt signs to auto, and I think that's it. The center fuel pumps are off because there's no more fuel. There's no more fuel in the center fuel pumps. Alright, what does the FMC want? Scanning DME fail? Why is that? Okay, I'm not really exactly sure. I don't really do these often. Alright, let's fly to Abusu. Direct Abusu. There we go. Execute that. Oh, we have 23 nautical miles to burn off altitude, so I don't think we'll make it. Let's go ahead and... yeah, I'm going to go ahead and resume the video once I burn off this altitude. So now, we're at a hold at Sopor, which is a waypoint right beside Madeira, actually. And we've got an island on our left here, and I'm not exactly sure what island this is. Might be part of the chain. Madeira is an island that belongs to Portugal. It's an offshore island, of course. Any island is offshore. It's north of the Cape Verde Islands, I think they're called. But, it's a 2-hour flight from Madrid. A bit longer for us because we ran into this problem where we were too high and too fast. Alright, so let's try to burn up some more altitude. And that's Madeira over there. It'll look a lot better once we get closer. And I'm not sure if I said it before, I do have scenery from Madeira. And I think it's the Aerosoft scenery from Madeira. One thing about Flight Simulator X and all other flight simulation software is that if you want it to be rewarding, you want to buy payware add-ons, which are essentially add-ons you want to, pay for. But the thing is that in the end you're going to be spending hundreds and hundreds of dollars on your flight simulation experience. In the end, I mean, it's well worth it because you're supporting the developers, but if you want to get into this hobby and get everything that you can out of it, it's quite expensive, I gotta say. So now we're just going to go ahead and use heading select. We're going to exit the hold here at Sopor. And we're going to fly direct to a boost, so we're going to try at least. After that. Excellent. We're going to run our approach checklist, even though we were supposed to run that at 10,000 feet.
Approach checklist. 2997.
And that's in inches. That's our barometer pressure, barometric pressure. Alright, so we're almost at our target altitude, and that's 3,000 feet. That's the altitude that we're beginning our approach at. And Madeira, the Madeira airport is known for its short runway, and for its single runway, actually. If you go search it up on YouTube, a lot of you can find a lot of planes landing there, and it's quite spectacular. People line up on the sides of the mountain because it's like a runway that goes against a mountain, kind of parallel to it, and it's pretty fascinating. Let's go ahead and fly direct to a booster now. Hopefully we can burn off that speed. We're at 3,000 feet. That's our target altitude. You can see how we're close to the ocean now. Okay. In this window, I'm not sure if I said anything, but this is our FS2 crew window, and that simulates a co-pilot. If Flight Simulator X was not developed by Microsoft Games, I'd guarantee you there would actually be a co-pilot sitting here, but due to its limitations, there isn't. So now we're going to use auto throttle on. 200 knots. And the only reason I had it off is to set it manually to idle, so that we could have burned off the most speed that we could. Alright, so let's fly direct to a booster now. There you go. And let's engage LNAV, lateral navigation. We're going to go ahead and lower flaps 1.
Flaps 1.
And you should see our flaps coming down here. There you go, it's flaps 1. If we go to our Prague page here, we should be at Madeira at 10:18 GMT time. That's in 6 minutes. So yeah. As you can see here, if we take a look, if we now analyze this, we're going to be entering. Let's lower our speed to 190. I'm going to be entering the approach at perpendicular, kind of adjacent to it. We're going to make a right turn at Fun, and then we're going to land. We should be 3,000 feet at Debussy, 1,300 at Fun, and yep, those are all the altitudes that we should take note of. Let's lower our speed to 180 knots, and we will lower flaps 5.
Flaps 5.
Oh, and that noise, by the way, is just me rotating my view. I'm not sure how to disable this noise, but it comes with EasyDock, so I'm sorry about that. So our weather just updated, Active Sky 2012 just updated our weather, and now we're in clouds. So I think it was late in updating that. Winds are still at, yep, like 3 knots, 4 knots. So active runway isn't really, doesn't really matter now. Wind is calm. So we're flying at 180 knots, our landing speed is 140, approach speed will be 145, and because we have no headwind today, our approach speed will not be revised, so we'll stay at 145. We will lower flaps, let's check it out here. We will lower flaps 10 now.
Flaps 10.
And we will lower the gear, which are the wheels, when we enter the approach. So we're 1 nautical mile away from Abusu. Let's lower our speed to 160 knots. Making our turn, lower altitude to 1,600. Vertical speed down. Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps 15.
Flaps 15.
Now we have to be at 1,300 at fun. And we'll go ahead and perform our landing checklist as soon as we near final. And I think that's the airport way over there. Now how much time do we have for the landing checklist? We'll go ahead and perform a landing checklist right now.
Landing checklist.
Continuous.
Continuous.
Speed brake is not supposed to be down. Armed.
Armed.
Landing gears down. And we'll lower the flaps 30 once we make our turn. Alright, so we'll lower our flaps. That's the runway right there. Alright, we'll lower our HUD right now. And... oh, that's my phone. Sorry about that. We're lowering the flaps right now.
Flaps 30.
And we'll go ahead and say we're cleared for landing. And we'll go ahead and announce landing at decision height, which is 300 feet. Barometric pressure. Good, good. Go ahead and close that. So now we'll go ahead and lower our speed to 145 knots. And we're going to disengage the autopilot. Now we're hand flying the aircraft. And we're a little late on that turn there. There you go. And I gotta say, you come in pretty low for this approach at Madeira. So this HUD really tells you where you're gonna be. That little circle right there shows you where you're gonna be. The scenery is beautiful. The scenery package is really nice. They did a really good job on that. So landing lights are down. At 500 feet, we'll disengage our auto throttle. Really nice scenery. And this is a 6-year-old game. 500 feet, we'll go ahead and announce landing.
Landing.
Auto throttle disengage. And our TCAS is announcing terrain, but that's fine.
20, 10,
Flare. And touchdown. Reverse thrust engaged. Auto brake 3 is braking for us here, slowing down. Reverse thrust off. I'm pretty sure that's not the proper terminology. That's okay. Auto brake disengage. And we have arrived at Madeira. Beautiful place. It appears there's an aircraft here. And once we're off the taxiway, we'll announce okay to clean up. Our co-pilot will clean up the aircraft for us. Let's go ahead and make our turn. Alright.
Okay to clean up.
There you go. We'll go ahead and park at the terminal. So we can go ahead and actually, you know what? Yeah, we'll use the next ramp right here. And we are here. Okay. Parking brake.
Shutdown checklist.
Fuel pumps are off.
Off.
Prop heat is off.
Off.
Hydraulic panel is...
Set.
Lamps are up.
Up.
Parking brake is set.
Set.
Alright, cut off.
Cut off.
Weather radar is off.
Off.
Okay. And there you go. We are at the terminal. That was a beautiful landing here at Madeira. Just amazing.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Okay, ground. Engine number 2 is shut down. Please connect the GPU and external air now.
Roger that.
So we'll go ahead and switch to ground power now.